The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation, fairly short presentation to show you the capabilities of QuoteWerks, what areas of your business it can address, and how my company, Wizard Systems, can help you with your quote process there. Now, we run these short presentations fairly regularly, focusing on different aspects around QuoteWerks and quoting. And today, I'm going to go through a little bit more detail on how you can create different quote layouts for different quote situations. Now, I wouldn't have enough time this morning to go over all of the extensive capabilities of QuoteWerks. So if after this session you want to explore QuoteWerks in more detail, we'd love to organize more of a one-to-one session with you to discuss your specific needs. Also on the call today, we've got some people already trialing QuoteWerks, some QuoteWerks users. Maybe you're just starting to use QuoteWerks, and there may be some people that have never seen it before. So excuse me if I'm going over some information you already know about QuoteWerks. I just need to go at the speed of the slowest, so to speak. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. Your microphone is on mute. Don't worry about any background noises your end. If you've got any questions, please type those into the questions section on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those towards the end. Also, this presentation is being recorded. You will get an email from our system with a link to the recording, maybe after a day or so, which you can play back, obviously, share with your colleagues, and we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started then. Firstly, just a brief mention about my organization, Wizard Systems. We are essentially a CRM systems provider, but QuoteWerks is a very important part of that, in that we recognize many commercial organizations, the quote process is a very integral part of their operations, and QuoteWerks is our key sales quote proposal solution. And we offer a total package around QuoteWerks. So of course, we offer the software, but also we offer many different types of implementation help, installing it for you, setting it up, customizing it, integrating it with other applications, training you as well. That can be at your place. You can be trained at our location. We're in Bristol, UK, or we can do it online if you're not able to travel to us, or we're not able to travel to you. And finally, all the ongoing support as well. So if you ever get stuck around QuoteWerks, we've got a friendly QuoteWerks help desk service to assist you. So in working with you, how do you do quotes at the moment? Maybe you're using Word, Excel, maybe you're doing it from your accounting system, maybe someone's created some kind of tailored bespoke access, older software, maybe you're doing it manually in a verbal quotes or within the body of an email. So QuoteWerks is a better system for you. So what is QuoteWerks? Well, as the name suggests, it is essentially a sales quotation tool, but we do have many clients that actually use it for creating orders and invoices as well, so it can do that also. But essentially, it's a sales quote proposal tool. It will integrate. I mentioned that we're a CRM systems provider, solutions provider. It does integrate with a number of different contact management systems and CRM solutions out there. All the main ones are supported. So that you don't need to type in information twice, and it's a nice two-way integration with those applications as well. Now, at the heart of QuoteWerks is a product database, your price list. Well, there could be more than one price list. So all of the products and services that you provide, they're all in there. Of course, you can manually type those in as you create quotes, but essentially you've got a fantastic resource of very rich information, including pictures of all of the different products and services you provide, the different prices and so on, all in there to help you save time and improve the accuracy of your quotes, and to allow you to see your margin on your quotes as well. Topic today, quote layouts. You can create as many different layouts as you want to for different quote situations, maybe just a short one-page job, or maybe a multi-page proposal style layout. They are all supported in QuoteWerks. It will also help you deliver the quote. So once you've created the quote, it will deliver it to the client via email. There's also an option to share it via the web. So if you want to find out when your customers open the quote and what options they're selecting, and when they finally want to order it, that can all be done automatically via the web as an add-on option. And finally, we've got reporting and dashboards in the system. So you as a user, you as a manager, you can see what's going on with your sales quotes in a very easy way. Okay, so let's dive into QuoteWerks. So a couple of things here. Just want to give you a quick overview of the system, but then we're going to dive into the quote layout tool in a little bit more detail. So this is QuoteWerks. It's a Windows application. It's installed on your server. Very, very simple layout. We have a toolbar across the top, allowing you to dive into key parts of the application. But towards the top there, in my main work area, I've got 6 or so tabs, and this is the workflow of producing a quote. So first of all, I want to maybe try and find out, well, who am I going to be quoting to? This is where we can integrate to a number of different CRM and contact management systems. In fact, there's quite an extensive list of CRM and contact management systems that we support. So Act, Autotask, ConnectWise, Goldmine, Maximizer, Microsoft Dynamics, Salesforce, SalesLogix, also the Sugar CRM system, Zoho as well. So very easily you can bring in the contact details from your chosen CRM system, and then it's on to then selecting the products and services for the quote. So at the top of my work area here on my toolbar, I've got my products button. This is where I can easily see all of the different products and services I could select for this quote. Very simple layout here of this product lookup window. Down the left-hand side, we've got like a sort of hierarchy of these different products and services with different little subsections. So I could click into TV and a particular type of TV, and they'll be displayed in a summary view, row by row, a bit like an Excel spreadsheet, all of the different products and services in that category. Right at the top here, if I know part of the product name or part of the product code, I can do a quick search for it there as well. Very quick and easy search. But within a product, you can store extensive, very rich information about your product, which can be displayed on the quote layout, which I'll be covering in a little while, the quote layout that goes to the customer. So here is a product. If I just edit this product, just try and explain some of this rich information that we can store about the product. So this little window that's popped up here has got a number of tabs running across the top. On the general tab, we've got the general information for the product. So we've got a unique part code for it. We've got a big description for it, an extensive description, virtually no limit to that description. You may be buying this product from some other suppliers. So we've got their name there and the part number that you would order it by. On the pricing tab, this is where we can define the default pricing of this item, the cost price and the normal selling price, or the default selling price. This can always be overwritten when you're creating your quote. This is just for a time saving. This is the standard price that will go into the quote. And the quote, the actual default price, can be chosen from a number of different ways. It could be based on a gross margin, markup above cost, a special price, based on volume pricing. So 1 to 10 is that, 11 to 20 is this, and so on. Or it could be based on some kind of algorithm, some kind of formula as well. So lots of extensive ways for defining the default price. And there's more. So on the advanced tab here, this is where we can link to more advanced information about this particular product. We can actually link it to a spec sheet. So this could be a Word document or a PDF file that you may have for this product or service, and you just link it in here where I've got my spec sheet. There's the actual location of that data sheet. such that every time any user selects this product for a quote, automatically this additional marketing collateral is going to go into the quote as well. Complementary to that, you can also have a URL. So maybe on your website, you've got more information about this product. Wouldn't it be a good idea when you send out your quote, there's a little link on your quote to this product on your website. So you're actually driving a lot more traffic to your website as well, which could be also an added benefit of using the system. We can also include a picture of the product, so quite rich information. If you're sharing information via the web, we can include a video as well. There's also a concept of required items and optional items. So every time you sell this item, it will, in a mandatory way, it must have these additional items, or there may be some optional items that could be associated with this particular product. So just a flavor there of the rich information you can store against a product. And then to select it for the quote, you just very simply double click on it to select it. And a little window pops up to prompt the user as regards how many, what's the quantity that you want on this price? What's the normal price that you would sell this at to this customer? What's the normal price that you've sold this item to other customers recently? All of that can be accessed there. Very simply, you pop that on the quote there, and that is on this document items tab here. I mentioned this is the workflow, these 6 tabs, the workflow of doing the quote. So the document items tab, this is where we can see row by row all of the quote items on this quote. Running across this display, there are a number of columns, some for your eyes only. Of course, the customer is not going to see the cost price, but you could also include some custom columns as well that may or may not be on the quote layout. There's some basic sales information here. Some of these fields can be tweaked and customized for your requirements, but of course we've got maybe the terms of this quote, the date of the quote, the normal expiry of the quote, sales tax, name of the salesperson creating this quote. We've got a notes tab as well, 4 big boxes of notes that you can use as you wish. Again, some of this information may or may not appear on the quote layout. We have a custom tab that you can define any of these fields for your own purpose for key information about the quote. And then finally, the links tab. This is where we can actually attach files to this quote. So if there's any additional images, PDF files, Excel spreadsheets, whatever, that can be attached to the quote that may go to the customer in conjunction with the quote layout. So this is also where, once we've added this product, and there could be multiple products we might want to add into the system, this is where we can then fine-tune our pricing strategy. So we can click into these boxes here, and we can change things as we want to. So maybe I'm not going to charge £30 for this item. I'm going to charge 25. Maybe I'll up the quantity from 1 to 5. All along the way, right in the middle there, right above the product items, we're being advised of kept up to date with our profit percentage, profit value, cost, extended price, and so on. So this is where we're fine-tuning our pricing strategy. Once we've done that, we then save the quote, we give the quote a name, we click OK, and then we can send it to the client. So I click on my deliver button here. This is where we can now, in this window, we've got a menu of different quote layouts. There they all are there. There may be a default one. I could select another one. I could attach literature to this quotation. I've got my spec sheets attached as well. But from here, I could then do a little preview just to show you what this quote looks like. Just an example of a quote. This will go in a PDF format. This can be emailed directly from the QuoteWerks system, either directly from QuoteWerks or via your Outlook system. But this is where we can see all of the different pages of the quote, terms and conditions, and more information on the product as well. So a very simple way of creating the quote, defining your pricing strategy, all of the different products and services that you've got in the system as well that you can choose from, and then fine-tuning your pricing strategy, saving a quote, and then delivering the quote to the customer. We've also got a quote revision process as well. So if the customer comes back and says they want different items or they want extra discount, you can go through a revision process that will retain the old quotes. You create new quotes. It will add on right at the top of my window here on the top title bar of this window. We can see the quote number. The QuoteWerks will add a number or a letter suffix to that, just to say that that's a revision to that quote, but we retain the original quote as well. So a little bit about quote layouts now. So I went through this by clicking this deliver button. This is where we can define what layout we want to select for this quote that's going to the client. And there can be any number of different quote styles that we can define here. Very short one-page quotes, but also linking to Word as well for more of a proposal style layout. There are a number of standard templates that come with QuoteWerks. They can be changed by you, but very simply, if you do want to change any of them, you can go through this edit process. Now, in the setup of QuoteWerks, you may have lots of users, lots of colleagues using QuoteWerks. You may not want everyone to be able to change the quote layout information. So there's many aspects of QuoteWerks that you can restrict and define exactly what your users can or can't do. And certainly a quote layout would be a key thing that you would want to protect and only have administrators or the correct people that know what they're doing to change that quote layout. But here's an example of that quote layout. So we can obviously include your company logo, your contact details as well, the details of the client. Basically, this layout consists of different sections. It's rather like a report in a way, and it does run in a very similar way to the report writer that's provided with QuoteWerks. So these sections allow you to place different bits of information into the quote so that they will print out in that particular part of the quote. The most important part of the quote is the details section, the body, the main meat of what the different products and services that you're providing. So you may be able to see here the fields that I've got. All of these fields are contained within these square brackets, and that's just telling you that's where that field is going to be inserted on this quote. Right at the top, this is where you can insert new fields. So if you want to insert something additional into your quote layout, that's where you can do it. There are mainly two different sources of information that you can put onto your quote. There's document headers, main information about the quote, like a purchase order number, your reference, the name of the salesperson, the details of the customer. They would be typically document headers. And then document items, that's the meat, that's the stuff that's essentially going to go into the detail section of this quote, where all of your products and services will be displayed in a column type format. So there they all are there, all of the different fields that you've got in QuoteWerks. We do provide, if you require this, we do provide training on this, or we can actually create the quote layouts for you. But it is actually, in honesty, quite simple to create your own quote layout yourself. So that detail section is wrapped above and below by some summary sections. There's a number of different detail sections there. This is quite a sophisticated quote layout. Let me actually go back to a simpler layout. So this one here, for example. So this is a rather simpler section. We've only got a couple of detail sections, but right after the detail sections, we are wrapping up the quote with the totals, of course, and any kind of summary information. Let me just scroll down a little bit. There may be some summary information. There may be some terms and conditions. The whole point of that about this quote layout is that it's one less thing for the user to think about. It's going to deliver a standard layout of quotes, standard fonts, terms and conditions will automatically be sent. The color formatting, the corporate style of your organization, it's all going to be in there, locked down with that quote layout. No other user can change it. Only the administrator user can change it to have that conformity and a uniform way of delivering these quotes in a nice professional layout. As I say, we also do support Word as an optional way of creating your quote layout. We do have a number of clients using Word that are more into proposal style documents. So typically maybe 20, 30 pages within the proposal. And Word will give you just a few more additional formatting options there for, as I say, for more proposal style layouts. Okay, so that's QuoteWerks in just a few minutes, the actual layout of the system, and just to focus a little bit more on the quote layouts. There are actually 3 different editions of QuoteWerks, standard, professional, corporate. So depending on your needs, your sophisticated needs and requirements, we've got the right edition for you, and some add-on options as well. For example, there's a Sage 50 add-on option. So lots of additional features that may be of interest to you. As regards pricing, software starts from £173 as a one-off cost. You're not necessarily subscribing to QuoteWerks. There's a one-off cost there. Wizard Systems can also provide full installation and training help, and upgrades are done via an annual upgrade maintenance package. So I'd now like to open out our call. We've come to nearly the end of the call. If you've got any questions, please type those into your questions section on your meeting control panel. I'll do my best to answer those for you. So question from Connor, can QuoteWerks create an order acknowledgement or a pro forma invoice? Yes, it can. They are just additional layouts. So you would just, and you can clone a quote layout very quickly. So you've got the layouts of the quotes, you can just quickly clone that and just basically rename it. Put in different labels as regards what the order acknowledgement layout will be or the pro forma layout will be. So yes, no problem at all. There is also a feature in QuoteWerks, I didn't cover it, the ability to convert the quote to an order or an invoice. So you send out the quote, you then have the customer come back to you in a positive way saying, yeah, right, I want to go ahead and order it. So that can be very simply a couple of clicks of the mouse converted to an order. So it's no longer a quote, it no longer appears in any of your quote forecasting that you may be doing through QuoteWerks. It is an order. And then you could have your order acknowledgement as a particular layout that you can print out or email back to your customer, slightly different layouts, so no problem at all. Question from Ashish. We don't sell products, just services. Can it be used for that? Yes, of course. We do have quite a few service operations using QuoteWerks. So yeah, if I mean, really, you just need to swap wherever I said products to services. So your price list will be an inventory of all the different pricing options you've got for your services and labor and whatever types of services that you provide, Ashes. So no problem at all. And if you do have an Excel spreadsheet or similar of all of your current services and descriptions and pricing and options, that too can be imported into QuoteWerks. I forgot to mention that there is a very easy to use import tool in QuoteWerks to allow you to import that information in there. Question from Jordan, I'm an existing user. Can we transfer a quote directly to QuoteWerks? To Sage. That does require, I mentioned add-ons, Jordan, that we do sell a low-cost add-on to convert a quote to Sage 50. So if you're using Sage 50 there, you don't say what Sage version you're on, but yes, there is an add-on option. I'll send you more details about that after our call. This allows you to take the quote without the need for retyping any information and to put it in as an unallocated order or an invoice. If you want to go straight to invoicing stage and miss out the order stage, you can do that with our Sage add-on product. And that again will write back to QuoteWerks and say to QuoteWerks, this is no longer a quote, this is an order. So a great way of saving time, particularly useful if you've got a high volume of quotes or orders that you need to process. So saves you time and reduces any potential mistakes. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions coming through, so thanks very much, the three of you, for those questions. But I hope that's been of value to you. Anyone looking at QuoteWerks, just started using QuoteWerks, please contact us for any additional help on QuoteWerks training, support, and so on. There's our contact details, wizard-systems.com. I am actually Tim at wizard-systems.com, Tim Wilmot. But thanks very much for your time, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.